Ego thoughts, man. New reports. In this video, we're going to talk about David Benavidez possibly fighting against Jamie Munguia. Jamie Munguia fights tomorrow. Should he win, that's an option, according to the latest reports, for David Benavidez. Now, my thoughts are this. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't really fault David Benavidez. David Benavidez had a sensational year. And if it weren't for maybe Terrence Crawford, Devin Haney, and Naoya Inoue, I think it would be unanimous that you would have to say David Benavidez for Fighter of the Year 2023, or even Performance of the Year. Like, I don't even understand why more people aren't actually saying David Benavidez's name, because Naoya Inoue had a good year. Devin Haney definitely had a good year, as well as Terrence Crawford. Crawford fought one time, but, you know, I'm not going to hold that against him because the politics. Who's to say Crawford only wanted to fight one time a year? But if you had a rematch clause and then you have to negotiate a rematch with the fighter that you just beat, and then Errol has had some eye troubles and complications, we'll say, then at the end of the day, it's not really Crawford's fault. It's not something you can blame Crawford for. Make sure you guys subscribe. So there was some sensational performances 2023. I can't wait to see what is in store 2024. Your boy Ego wants some more. But David Benavidez, his name is up. He fought Caleb Plant on my birthday, March 25th. Shout out to all the Aries and Pisces, March babies. He had some issue. Let's be real. He had some issue with Caleb Plant. I want to say the first 5, maybe 6 rounds, he had some issue. David Benavidez does what he always does. He found a way to enforce his style on his opponent. That nonstop, consistent pressure. When we're talking about pressure, guys, in modern boxing, we got to think David Benavidez. David Benavidez has got to be one of those people, when we're talking about pressure style fighters, that he has to be like top 3 of current boxing. I'm not going to go to the legends and stuff because I definitely believe in separating the eras. But in terms of right now, in the last several years, David Benavidez is one of them ones. Great pressure fighting style, combinations, dazzling. When I see David Benavidez with some of these, and he's doing it, and when he start getting into a rhythm, he's like a fine sports car, where once he gets to that 0-60, good luck trying to catch him. And he just start going in the zone and wigging out. You know what I mean? Rapid fire, if you will. Going berserker barrage, in the words of Wolverine Logan. So I like what I'm seeing from David Benavidez. My thoughts about the Jamie Munguia. I mean, my style, I've kept it the same. I'm not big on looking past opponents. Now, I will say this. John Ryder doesn't impress me like apparently he impresses a lot of you guys. There's a lot of people, and I hear this John Ryder name. They're like, John Ryder, oh, he gave someone a tough fight, and John Ryder, I won't deny it. I'm a ride. You don't want to mess with me. I got my rest in peace to Nate Dogg. John Ryder is like the Shania Twain song. That don't impress me much. Oh. Don't get me wrong. I think he's all right. He's okay. You know, I don't have nothing against him personally. No disdain for him as a man, you know, personally. Never talked to the guy, but I just don't think he's what people kind of build him up. Like old media, they're famous for doing this. they build guys up and, oh, John Ryder. But the reality is I deal with results. Don't tell me about this and that. Tell me about the results. That's what I care about. The end result. What happened? Because I didn't think he beat Danny Jacobs. That was a fight I thought he lost. I thought he beat Callum Smith, but they didn't give it to him. So, that's kind of neutral. I thought he won a fight and the other person got robbed, but then I did think he got robbed. So let's just say that washes each other. But even besides that, you have Canelo Alvarez. Payday. He beat him in Mexico, broke his jaw, whatever the case was. John Ryder been knocked out before. It's just like his big fights, he can't all the way turn it over. So Jamie Munguia, I would definitely favor him. If you guys want to see the watch party, let me know in the comment section. Just put BWP or put watch party. When you utilize these words, it enables me as a creator to see what you want as fans. So I'm picking Munguia. I think Munguia is defensively flawed, but at the same time, he does enough things right in his fights offensively, and he seems pretty put together in terms of durability. So as a result, I have to favor Jamie Munguia over John Ryder. John Ryder finds a way to lose. People keep talking about he had a close fight with this guy. I don't care about close fight. I'm caring about the victory. Did you cross the finish line as the champion? And he's not doing that. So that's just my opinion. So I don't really expect much, to be honest. Maybe it's a Jamie Munguia versus Derevyanchenko 2.0 type of fight tomorrow night with John Ryder. We shall see. We shall see. As far as Jamie Munguia and David Benavidez, that's the reports. That's the rumors that David Benavidez is scouting Jamie Munguia. And then they're talking about the winner could fight Canelo. Now, speaking of the boy Canelo, I got something to say. Subscribe to the channel. How come Canelo Alvarez always gets a pass from the Canelo fans? The Chupapi Muñeños. That's what I want to know. How come Canelo Alvarez always receives a pass from the Canelo payday? You want payday? I know that. Huh? Can y'all answer that? Why do the Canelo fan, I understand you like the guy. I understand you're a fan of his past work, maybe. You like his fighting style. But let's be real. There's a lot of other fighters with similar styles, if not better. That's just my opinion. For example, Canelo fought an undersized Jermell Charlo, meaning he wasn't of the same weight class at all. Jermell Charlo moved up 14 pounds, in fact. I feel like when we're talking about the best fighters in the world right now, if anybody, I'm talking like the top two guys in the division and whatnot, if anybody moved from the lower divisions up 2 divisions and fought a top 2 person in said division, I think more often than not, they get cooked. Let me give y'all some examples. Jaron Boots Ennis. I think he's like a top 2, top 3 welterweight right now. I've been on record telling you that, right? Jaron Boots Ennis, if somebody came up from 2 divisions underneath him, let's say a lightweight, right? Moved up to 147, Jaron would cook them. He would likely cook them. And then y'all would be complaining and saying it's an unfair fight. Why does Canelo get a pass? He just fought a man 2 divisions underneath him, and they try to build it up. And my thing is this: Canelo beat Jermell Charlo. He dropped him. It wasn't even a sensational drop. Jermell Charlo took a knee. And I'm not doubting he was hurt. Yeah, I get it. He was hurt. But he just took a knee. Versus when you get dropped like Wilder drop you, you just fall like a bag of rocks or sack of potatoes. There's no let me make the decision to take a knee to avoid this onslaught. You fall to the ground, fall to your doom. That's what I'm saying. So Canelo, why does he get to, like, why does Jamie Munguia and David Benavidez, why do they get to fight each other in some fake sweepstakes to earn Canelo? Like, come on, bro. But then a 154 pounder doesn't have to earn Canelo. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I love this series. And if you guys want to see more ego thoughts, just type ego thoughts in the comment section. And I use these as data as a full-time content creator. But I love these brain spills where I get to just brainstorm and talk about these topics. So David Benavidez, Munguia is a cool fight. I would easily favor Benavidez over Munguia. It's just he's taller, his arms are probably longer, and his offense is just too creative. He's too creative with his offense. Munguia is pretty good with his offense, but we've seen Derevyanchenko, who I think is kind of washed, hurt him, and he went life or death with him, you know? And we'll have to see what happens in the John Ryder fight. But I don't really think Munguia is ready for David Benavidez, for real. But, I mean, they're talking about, I understand it from Benavidez. We'll just put it that way, because he's calling out the best and he's fighting the best. Andrade, he chopped him up. First 2 rounds, quasi-competitive. The other rounds, not so much. You know what I mean? So Benavidez is doing his thing. Munguia is a name, so I'm not mad at him. 2 Mexican fighters, Mexican, Ecuadorian, 2 Spanish-speaking fighters make the fight. I'm not tripping. I don't know all the logistics. A side, I would say, is David Benavidez. Maybe it's a joint pay-per-view. I don't really know. But I think it's weird that Canelo fans don't just want to see David Benavidez straight away fight against Canelo Alvarez. That seems to be, in my view, the pick of the litter. That seems to be the fight that everybody has wanted to see. I don't need to see any more preliminary fights to get to the main fight. Like, I don't need to see a Super 6. I know what I want to see at 168. Munguia has not even been at 168 that long, and he really ain't fought nobody. That's like, Canelo fans, some of them are looking bad right now because they keep talking about other fights that are just in the way. Like, oh, Canelo, Edgar Berlanga. Why would you want to see Canelo Munguia, Canelo Berlanga over Canelo and the guy who was a 2-time champion, who has a bigger profile, whose last 2 fights were on pay-per-view, and that's David Benavidez. And he has a better style. He's a better fighter. He's more fun to watch, you know, for real. That's why I got to do these ego thoughts, because y'all making me mad. I mean, why? Why do people act like they don't know what's up? So I'm going to say it, and I'm going to end the video with this. It's fear. Fear, people. Fear is what causes people to act like this. When they fear your position could be lost, that's when they start acting like this. They look at Benavidez as a super threat. They'll downplay him and say that, oh, Benavidez, he don't really want it and he'll get knocked out. Meanwhile, Canelo's golfing. Last time I checked, I don't really see Benavidez golfing and stuff like that. So he would be locked in for the fight. Boxing is his bread and butter. So he would be, I would look for Benavidez to have one of his best camps for a fight with Canelo. But again, it's almost like one of the old cartoons I grew up watching, like Ninja Turtles, you know, shows like the Power Rangers and those type. It's morphin' time. That's what the Canelo fans sound like. It's morphin' time. See, and then the sparks come out. That's the Canelo fans. But it reminds me of those shows and those cartoons back in the day. You don't get to Krang. You don't get to Shredder. Oh, I sent something in the room. Remember how Shredder, that's Uncle Phil, by the way. But Shredder, he's the main henchman. He like the main bad guy, him and Krang. Why, yeah, Shredder, we might get to the techno. That's how Krang used to talk, remember? So you got the main bad guys, which is Krang in that suit and Shredder. Then they send the Foot Clan, Bebop and Rocksteady. They send people to kidnap April O'Neil. All these other side missions before you can actually get to Shredder, actually get to, why is Shredder? We must get to the turtles. Before you can get to them. That's what the Canelo fans do. They send all these like Foot Clan and Bebop and Rocksteady before you could get to the fight we all want to see, which is Canelo Benavidez. Let me know what you guys think. I want to see this in the comment section. Hey, comment, subscribe. Ego thoughts, just my thoughts. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me.